Muhammad Ali let us all know.
The stage is set for me to be ranked as the greatest of all time.
But some believe Parkinson's is why the loudest mouth in sports is now a whisper.
I'm still bad. I believe I'll make a comeback.
Fred Hyde knows all about Ali. He knows they share the same disease.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And now they share the same sport.
Oh, wow. Boxing? Well, you sure you want to do that?
He was sure from the start.
A friend of mine told me about this. I said, that sounds good. Sounds just right up my alley.
This human rights lawyer was one of the original 3
Here's your punch. Back in your guard.
in trainer Karen Johansson's rock-steady boxing class.
They are fighters before they even come to class, just because they know that this is something, there's no cure. They've got to figure out ways to manage it.
Karen's here because of her dad, Lloyd, who died from Parkinson's 6 years ago.
Pretty much his physicians said, here's some pills, take these, you're good. And I, at that time, thought, there's got to be a better way. 1, 2, 3.
She has a martial arts background and heard about this national movement using non-contact boxing to battle Parkinson's. Fred's gone toe-to-toe with the disease for the last decade.
Talking to people, I'd be bent over like this. And people say, come on, straighten up. I'd be like unaware of it. This is really gave me a lot better balance.
When he started, he could jump rope just twice in a row. Now, his personal best is 25 straight. He's tried swimming, weightlifting, walking, but boxing just seems better.
And that much more together. So it's I don't know what to make of it exactly, but I'm not arguing with it.
Karen says boxing works for 3 reasons. The rotating, punching motion pushes through stiffness caused by Parkinson's. Second, the punch combinations boxers call out.
And Fred?
6, 3, 2.
Work the brain and the voice that is sometimes lost.
1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 6.
Third,
1, 2.
Okay, you've got about a minute left.
it's just group therapy.
Some people have support groups. This is the support groups with gloves.
As for Fred, he says the sport has given back his posture, his dexterity, and his confidence.
It's fun to tell people, oh, hey, I'm taking boxing classes.
Here we are, once again. You gonna get some clams today, Will?
Hopefully.
There's kind of an obsession. I mean, people get obsessed with razor clamming.
Want me to reach in, Brum?
It's an adventure, for sure. Coming out to razor clam is a great adventure.
Got him.
It is a wild food. You can only get them here on our coast. They're endemic to the West Coast. General advice is to get there 2 hours before the low tide. And you walk down to the surf and you start looking for the clam shows. And they show in different ways, and on the upper beach you can be looking for a dimple in the dry sand.
Oh, all right.
You either use the shovel or a tube, slightly different techniques, and dig down and get the clam. You get it. You don't always get it quick. The clams can dig down. These are clams you kind of have to chase.
There we go, that's a better one.
You get sandy, you can get wet, a wave can wash over you. It can be pretty exciting down at the beach. Razor clamming is one person, one clam, mano a mano, and it's a hunt. One of my favorite things is when you're out here like this, I mean, it's the far edge of the continent, the absolute fringe edge of the continent. And there's this wild thing here, and it's just an expanse of water, earth, sky, and during the day, the sun, fire. So it's just those basic elements. It is all ages out there. There's kids, octogenarians, all ages, everybody. It's the whole gamut of society.
There it is. I just saw it.
And it's so exciting. People are like dancing with joy at the beach with every clam that they put in their net. People use lanterns or headlamps and continue on because we're slaves to the tide. If the tide's low, you got to be out there.
Starting to get better.
So I think there's a primal joy of abundance that just fills your heart. Be nice to get one more each, I'd say. Then we can
Yeah.
move on. Everyone's digging by themselves. No one's paying any attention to anybody else. But if you lift up your head and look around and you see this whole expanse of humanity working together as a community, in essence, it's a communal activity.
Yeah, there's one.
That's certainly one thing that I think makes people so addicted, really, to razor clamming.
Oh man, if these records could talk. Wait a minute, maybe they can.
So you see even the classic like Northwest bands in here.
When radio's indie icon, KEXP, moved to Seattle Center, its archive of thousands of vinyl discs came along for the ride.
We play every kind of media, and we always have. So we still play these records.
The message isn't just in the music.
Well, the stickers were there on the record so they could describe the music to their fellow DJs, and sometimes describe meant rip apart or say this was the greatest thing they ever heard. Stevie Wonder on the vinyl.
KEXP morning show host John Richards says the DJ notes are like a pre-internet chat room, a running commentary of the local sound.
And you saw some personal fights take place on these records, and with, I don't know, 40,000 records here in our library, there's a lot of fighting in here.
The notes were the best way for staffers working different shifts to share ideas and opinions. They had a lot of them.
I don't know what this cover looks like.
Classic albums like Nirvana's Nevermind weren't born classic.
Yes, over and over and over again.
Their merits were debated and argued from the start.
This has been in rotation so long, this kid has armpit hair by now. And then my favorite comment on here is, hey, can we really be cutting edge and be the first station to stop playing this record?
Local artists and producers sometimes added their own comments.
Like I saw on an old Love Battery record, it said, man, how high were they when they were making this album? And then there's a comment from Ron, who's the singer of the band. He goes, I was pretty high. I was pretty high. This is one of the original Sub Pop compilations, Sub Pop 200, and it should be under lock and key.
Here, Sub Pop Records founder Jonathan Poniman supplied both the album and the comments.
This is his handwriting, writing all the songs down, these Nirvana and Mudhoney and bands that would be huge one day.
Like a tuneful time capsule, these notes in the music and on the music will play out for generations to come.
Very important historical part of the music scene here in Seattle.
I really love hunting for spring porcini. It's like a treasure hunt. It brings out, you know, this ancestral hunter-gatherer that we all have within us. It just pushes all these, you know, these sort of primitive buttons that we have. This looks like really good habitat up here. Here we go. All right, spring porcini, first of the year. Porcini actually means little pigs. And so here we have what looks to me to be 3 little pigs. And 3 little pigs. So this is what mushroom hunters refer to as a mushroom. And you can kind of see that something is pushing up through the duff and pine cones and pine needles. And even though we can't see a mushroom, we know that something's under here. Look at those. Notice how the pores are still really white, but these are beautiful buttons, and they're gonna make a very tasty dinner. You know, another name for porcini that the Italians have is poor man's steak. But you know, at the prices that we're paying these days for spring porcini in the market, you might actually be better off just going and getting a New York strip. These are very expensive. In fact, we probably have right here, I don't know, maybe 3 pounds of mushrooms. This is well over $100 in the marketplace, yeah. The capture, of course, is super satisfying, but the hunt itself is reason enough to go. Everything is just alive, it's vibrant out here. Look at how green everything is. All the plants are leafing out. It's just such a great time to be in the woods. Maybe the only drawback is it's also the time of the mosquito. There are days when you get skunked, but you know, it's a day in the woods, which to me, hey, that's a win.